Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Glock fiasco or whatever. So let's get right into it. All right, guys. So I just got back from kind of a family road trip, seeing extended family, family in-laws across a few state lines. And while I was gone, heard a little bit of rumors going around about Glock and what they're going to be doing to their Glock pistols. And yeah, kind of wanted to talk about it, not only to share my opinion to at least two people, including me and my mom, that like to watch these videos, but also just to kind of make a quick video because I haven't made one in quite some time. So let's get right into the Glock shooting themselves in the foot. So basically, for anybody that does not know, Glock is discontinuing pretty much every model, at least as far as I'm aware, because this is sort of a rumor thing, and this is a thing that kind of pisses me off a little bit when companies do this. They're discontinuing every model except for the 43 and the 48. Basically, all slimline Glocks are staying in production. All the new ones will be updated to a new V model. Now, I don't run a company, and I don't obviously run a multi-billion-dollar company like Glock is, but I hate when companies do this where information starts to leak out and then there's just silence. Like, I can't stand that shit. Like, if this is legit and this is the plan going forward, me personally, if I was running this business, I'd be like, hey, let's put out a thing saying, yes, this is in fact true. Let's clear some of this up. And instead, it's just kind of whispers here and there. There's rumors, stuff coming out that seems to be legitimate, but at this moment, it's like you don't really know the particulars, and that's kind of the gay thing. So for me, being an avid Glock enjoyer, I actually have 4 Glock pistols within reach here. 2 are defensive and 2 are just sort of props. Like my Glock 47, kind of the Stagger Special, which is super fun, super awesome. And then also my trusted carrier for years, which is unloaded because I decided to kind of gun up a little bit, or up gun over the road trip. So this came with as a backup, but the Glock 17 Gen 5 right here, that was kind of my main carry. So obviously, as you can see, big fan of Glock, big fan of Glock stuff. I like them because they're relatively inexpensive. And even with inflation busting through the roof, they've basically stayed at the same price point for years and years and years, which I think a lot of people forget. And it seems like that is going to change coming up here, because it seems like the new versions of the Glock V or whatever is going to be, I wouldn't say significantly higher, but it definitely seems to be higher. From what I've seen, it seems to be about right around that $100 mark increase. Now, of course, this is just rumors and all this and that, and this is all also MSRP, so who actually knows what they will retail for, but it seems like they will be more expensive. Not much more expensive. I would say street price probably 10% more than current value. That's still significant, but it's not that bad. Me personally, though, is that there's things coming out that there's not going to be quite the compatibility back and forth. So supposedly, the new Glocks, the Glock V, is basically being made to coincide with a lot of their issues with the 3D printed switches or actual switches. The ease in which that you can make these things full auto, they're addressing that with the new model. And so facto, they are also addressing slide changes and also trigger changes. What those will be, I don't know. And also, furthermore, going on that, they don't really go into detail. There is no details as of yet about the actual compatibility changes. Will slides be able to be swapped? Can I take a Gen V slide and put it on an older frame? Are parts interchangeable? Like, none of that information is out right now. So again, this is why I would appreciate if somebody would come out and just say, this is what it is, this is the compatibility things, and yeah, we'll go forward from there. Because obviously, Glock has done changes and stuff like that in the past. Like, the Gen 4 triggers were different than the Gen 3, and the Gen 5 are different than the Gen 4s. They all work. I think there's a little bit of a teething issue with the Gen 4s on some of the models. Same, I didn't hear as much with the Gen 5s, but personally, for me, especially when they're not really saying the compatibility issues with parts and whether or not they can swap it or anything like that. Also, on a smaller side note, there will be no MOS models. So the Glock 47, for the most part, is basically extinct at this point. So this thing has gone up significantly in price. Great investment might be by me. But other than that, yeah, it just gives me a little bit of pause. As I said, big Glock enjoyer. These things will last quite a bit, so I'm not worried about like shooting them dead. But it does give me a little bit of a pause and make me think like, hey, I've always wanted a Gen, because I've been rocking this bad boy for forever, the Gen 3 19. It's like, maybe now is a good time to get the Gen 5 Glock 19, as it is so happening. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. As you can see, for people that are kind of keeping an ear to the market as well, a lot of things are being liquidated at ridiculous prices relative to their street price. MSRP, whatever, but actual street price, most things are being almost liquidated right now. It's pretty crazy. I've seen the biggest drop I've ever seen, especially for the timing of it, is the Surefire RC3 suppressor. I seen that for like $1,200, and they're usually like, you know, fucking, I don't know, 17, 1800, something like that. So that is a significant price, especially with the NFA tax. What would you call that? The actual tax amount that you have to pay on top of those to get the tax stamp is being removed. It's kind of weird, and maybe that's also partial because there's more people coming online with suppressors to kind of cash in on that, but I don't know. If you look around, ammo's still pretty cheap. Things that are not like gun but gun related are getting significant discounts. It's kind of crazy. So I would say for me personally, I will probably go ahead and just bite the bullet real quick and just get the Glock 19 Gen 5, just because like I said, I want one. I don't really care if it's an MOS, just because I feel like, you know, this one's direct milled, and I don't have any issues with sticking with one footprint, to be honest, if I like the dot. So this is just kind of a quick little discussion. If anybody has any more further information or details you want to throw in the comments, please feel free. And this is also just sort of a little bit of a wake-up call. Like, obviously there's no pressure, and that's why prices are dropping, but it's like, if you ever wanted to get some stuff, if you want to get more ammo, if you wanted to just get that thing that you always wanted, now is a good time to kind of jump on it while prices are fairly reasonable and fairly low. So anyway, that's just kind of my quick little video. I'm not super duper happy about what Glock is doing. I understand it to a degree. I just wish there was a little bit more communication, clear up some of the issues and some of the more concerns, because I don't want to get completely boxed out of buying more of these ones that I know work and have to deal with issues that may or may not arise from the new generation or the new models or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Links are in the description if you want to support the channel. But other than that, be good. I don't know why I clicked.